10 minutes of break, and we are going to connect exactly after 10 minutes. All right, everyone, are you back from the break? Perfect. Let me show you practical part of it. So first thing first, you will come to Amazon and you will sign into your account and search for service called VPC. Go to VPC, click on your VPC and create a VPC. It will ask you two options. One is VPC only, where you will create VPC first and then subnet, then routing table, one by one, each thing, each component. Then another option is VPC and more. In this VPC and more, this is the advanced option where you can select VPC, how many subnets you want to create, route tables you want to create, network connection you want to create, and then you can select and just click on creating VPC. It will create all the things in one go. I would personally suggest you, as of now, go for VPC only. Later on, we will explore this section also. I'm giving a name here, simply long 1-VPC. Then IPv4 range 10.0.0.0/26. Then says IPv6 CIDR block, no. Here also you can bring your own IPs from Amazon or your organization. In that case, you can go for this option, IPAM, which is a pool you can bring. I'm choosing as of now, this is 10.0.0, that's /26, and create a VPC. Once VPC is created, again, we are going to the same discussion, Shelly, that all the things we have discussed, right? Why we're taking 26, why we're taking 24. This is the same concept that we have learned. Because I want to create a network of 64 IP addresses, that's what I have chosen this range 10.0.0/26, which will give me 64 IP addresses. Fine, so our VPC is created. Go to subnets. And subnet, I'm going to create a subnet under which VPC? Simply learn 1-VPC. Give it a name. I'm giving a name as subnet 1. In my diagram, which subnet I make public subnet, subnet 1. So I will create this name subnet 1. In bracket, I'm writing public subnet also. Subnet 1, public. Availability zone, I want to choose AP South 1B. IPv4 VPC CIDR block 10.0.0/26, and IPv4 subnet range I want to take 10.0.0/27. Create a VPC. So let me copy this name, subnet 1 public, create subnet. Similarly, let's create another subnet. Select your VPC, give it a name, subnet 2, and this is going to be private subnet. Availability zone, I'm going to choose AP South 1. range 10.0.0 32/27. This is what we have discussed, all these things, why I'm taking this range. So create a subnets. So we have two subnets now. You can see this is related to VPC 1, which is simply learn 1 VPC. This is the one, public one and private one. And if you see how many number of IPs are available, see this list, 27. Why it is 27? Exactly, 5 are reserved. That's why. Perfect. Now let's go to very important part. Comes to route table. When it comes to route table, you will see AWS has created one default route table when you create your VPC. I have just created a VPC as of now and subnets I have created. So route table, automatically you will get this route table. You can see this one where ID is ending with C89. This is attached to simply learn one VPC. So when you create your VPC, by default, one route table would be created. So once this is created, I'm going to create another route table also. I'm not changing anything in this default table. I am going to create another route table and giving a name as simply learn 1 hyphen public route table. Which VPC? Simply learn 1 VPC. Create a route table. Once you've created a route table, just leave as it is. This is the one. Oh, sorry for the spelling mistake. Yeah, this one. Now let's create an internet gateway. Go to internet gateway, create an internet gateway, give it a name. In my case, I'm giving a name as simply learn 1 internet gateway. Create internet gateway. Once you create a gateway, internet gateway, in fact, it would be created in detached stage. So you have to attach this internet gateway to your VPC. If you come to internet gateway, see this is detached. Select this, go to actions, attach to VPC. Select your VPC here. Simply learn 1 VPC and attach internet gateway. Done. You have attached internet gateway to VPC. Now go back to route tables and see this step carefully. This is a little bit tricky step. So go to route table, which I have created public route table, and do the association. Here I'm saying I want to associate one subnet, which is subnet 1. Public I have written here. In the real time, we don't use this naming convention. Just to make your understanding easy, I have written this subnet 1 public. And I am doing this association that I want to attach subnet 1 and I want to subnet 1 to behave like a public subnet. Save association. Once you do so, now you can see explicit subnet association is with subnet 1. And now go to routes of your route table. In this route table, already we have one route, which is 10.0.0/26. That means CIDR block of VPC itself. We call it local route. Local route is needed when your this component, which is part of public subnet, wants to talk to private subnet. So this is like a brother sister. It's siblings. They can talk to each other without any, I would say, custom route entry. They can talk. This is a default entry here. Even you cannot remove this entry. Now go to edit routes. Add a route. In this route, I'm saying any traffic which is coming for internet 0.0.0/0 should be a route to internet gateway, and choose your internet gateway. In our case, it is simply learn 1-internet gateway and save changes. That's it. Now your this subnet, which is subnet 1, is public. Is it clear? I have done these steps very slowly because I know this is where you are going to be confused when you're going to do first time, and that's okay to confuse. That's where you are going to learn. This is tricky one. Any questions as of now? But route table is not depicted as table. Didn't get your question, Shelly. Each VPC has a default route table and internet gateway. We shouldn't touch them. Each VPC has a default route table and internet gateway. No, each VPC will not have a default internet gateway. Each VPC has a default route table that we should not disturb or that we do not touch, because we want this table to be used as a private also. But you can do it. In the next part, I will show you how I am going to change my AWS created route table. I will change. Every subnet would have a route table. This is not compulsory. It's not compulsory, because if it has not table, by default, all subnets would be connected to default route table. If you are not connecting, then they are going to connect with main route table. Yes, default route table would be there in that case. Specific routes can be added, yes. Subnet creation, please explain once. I missed a part of public and private. See, I'm so sorry for that, but please refer the recording for it. All the things, it's not possible for me to do it again. If somebody has specific missed that, please go through the sessions recording. Now VPC will not have default route. Now VPC will not have a default route table. Still we have the Aruna. See, if you go to screen VPC, simple on VPC, still we have the main route table, C89. So this C89 is, if you come to route tables, this is the one, C89. That's a main route table. Main route table means if in VPC we have 4 subnet and 2 route tables. One of the route table you have attached with one subnet, and then rest of the subnets will be connected to main route table still. Right. But why association is required? How you are going to tell which route to use? That's why association is required. Can one subnet be connected to multiple route tables? Can one subnet be connected to multiple route table? That we need to check, but ideally it should be. In how Amazon is giving over the console, that's a different thing, but ideally we should not have a scenario where you are going to do this kind of things. You are going to connect one subnet with multiple route tables. All right, let me show you a working example of it, how we are going to deal in this scenario. Now go to EC2. I'm going to create 2 EC2 instances, one private and one public. Go to EC2, instances, launch instance. This time I'm giving a name as, this is my public instance 01. I'm going to use Windows operating system. One GB memory, or let's take 2 GB. Key pair I'm going to create DK001, create key pair. Network settings I'm going to change this time. Edit. VPC I'm going to choose my custom VPC. Simply learn one VPC, and we are going to use public, right? This is a public machine I'm creating. Yeah. So I'm using public subnet here. Auto assign public IP, enable. Create a security group. Yes, I want to create a new security group. I'm not going to change the name as it is. I'm using inbound security group rules, RDP. That's it. Let's just test it. The only thing I've changed is simple and one VPC and subnet one I have selected. So launch instance. Launch instances. So sorry. Here I'm giving name as private instance 01. Windows 1 GB mem. Instead of 1 GB, I'm going to take 2 GB. Creating a key pair. I'm giving a name as, let's say, VCC01. You can give any choice of your name. Network settings, I'm choosing simple and one VPC. Subnet 2, private, auto sign public IP, disable. That's it. Launch instance. Let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not speaking anything because these instances are getting created. Let's wait for it. One instance is ready, waiting for second to be created. It's about to come. Let's check now. Now you can see it's working. So go to public subnet 01 and see this part. Private IP address 10.0.0.4 and private IP address 10.0.053. That's the reason we have created VPC, because we have got this range in virtual machines. Earlier, Amazon was giving through default VPC. Now we are selecting our own range. So I'll go to public instance 1. I'll connect with this instance. Go to get window password. and we are going to have, let's say, PK001, decrypt, copy this key, and let's click on connect, RDP client, download, click on connect, and paste. Click on OK, and we are connected. This is our public instance. We are connected with public machine, right? Because it's in public network, subnet. Now we want to connect with private instance. How can I connect with private instance? In my case, when I was creating an instance, I have given port 3389. I have opened it specifically for the private one also. So we can connect from this machine. So let me go back to the diagram. So this is our subnet machine, this EC2. This EC2 can talk to database, but in my case, as of now, I don't have the database, so I have created another EC2 instance here. And I'm going to connect with this instance. I'm just taking a RDP from this instance to this one, and that is going to be allowed. I'm in my public instance. I will go to RDP. This time, make sure this is not my laptop. This is a server machine. So it is asking you private IP or IP bits. So you will go to AWS instances, go to private instance, copy this IP and paste. Click on connect. Here provide administrator and password. Copy this password using BCP001, decrypt, copy, and provide the password. Say OK. Yes. So we are connected with our private instance also. Private instance, through internet you cannot connect, but through public IPs, through public machines you can come. Is it clear? Any questions till now? Whatever we have discussed on the diagram, that's I have explained. Any questions on this diagram as of now? I'm taking pause. Why multiple route tables created for one VPC? Because you are attaching route table to subnet level, not on the VPC level. That